In ancient legends, the water of Lake Issyk-Kul symbolizes moral purity. It is believed that the lake's water is capable of not only treating physical ailments, but also bringing peace of mind. Every year, millions of people from around the world come here for a break from excessive civilization. In Issyk-Kul region, there are almost 1,000 boarding houses, health centers, campsites, mountain and tourist camps and guest houses. Most of the beach resorts are located on the northern coast, but today we're heading to the southern coast to the town of Karakol. This is from where we will start our adventurous journey across Issyk-Kul and Naryn regions. The town of Karakol is located at the Terskei Alatau foot. Fertile and water-rich foothill valleys provide great conditions for farming. In his report of the 1856 Issyk-Kul expedition, Shokan Walikhanov mentions a Kokand fortress of Karakol, located on the caravan road from the Shu Valley to Kashgaria. The town was founded in 1869 and today is a major tourist center of 85,000 population. In the summer, on its streets you can hear many different languages. The majority of these flocking here are into various types of mountain tourism. Karakol has several universities, technical colleges and about 20 secondary schools. We are in Karakol's historical center. We wanted to go to the local history museum, but it is under renovation and closed for visitors, unfortunately. Instead, we want to go see an old temple built entirely of wood in the late 19th century. There are many 19th century buildings around. The Tian Shan spruce is strong and doesn't rot. In Karakol, you can find a hotel or restaurant for every taste and size of wallet, so we traditionally choose a budget option. Have you ever tried ashlan pho? Never in my life. Let's give it a try. Agree. Oddly enough, the big queue passes in a matter of minutes. The service is fast. Have to wait in the queue. The first time here? Yes. Did someone advise this place to you? In fact, several people. Two bowls of ashlan pho, 2 pies and 2 compotes came out only 190 soms. Delicious, stylish and fast. Karakol travel agencies organize different types of mountain tours around the Tian Shan. One of the popular auto routes is called In the Footsteps of Przhevalski. In 1886, the 4th Central Asian expedition, led by Przhevalski, returned to Karakol from Tibet along the trail through the Bedel Pass. 2 years later, the great traveler again arrived in Karakol to launch his 5th expedition. That time, Przhevalski and his team planned to reach the legendary Lhasa, but an accident thwarted all his plans. After drinking raw water from the Karabalta River, the researcher got typhoid fever and died in the Karakol hospital. Przhevalski's team spent 3 weeks traveling from the Bedel Pass to Karakol. Modern travelers can do it in 1 day, provided they have a good SUV. The Tosor Pass connecting Issyk-Kul and Naryn regions is quite steep and rocky. Not every jeep can cope with the elevation of 4,000 meters. The Naryn River originates in the glaciers of the central Tian Shan. then loops for about 800 kilometers through the territory of Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan and flows into the Sirdarya River afterwards. The river is very important for irrigated agriculture and hydropower. 7 hydropower plants are located on it. When planning a trip to Naryn region, do not forget to get a border pass in advance. A popular tourist location, the Shaar Falls, is located in the Barskaun Gorge, a 2-hour drive from the regional center. It is one of the 5 highest waterfalls in Central Asia. Counting all the cascades, it is 400 meters high. The word Shaar is an abbreviated Kyrgyz word, Sharki-Ratma, meaning a waterfall. The Aksai River emerges on the slopes of the Atbashi Ridge. After merging with the Mudurum River, it forms the Kokshaal River, which in its turn flows into the Tarim River in China. Ascending 8 kilometers into the mountains from the confluence on a good off-road truck, you can observe yet another of Central Asian wonders, Lake Kel-Suu. It formed 40 years ago as a result of a landslide and is located at the altitude of 3,500 meters. The water level in the lake, for still unknown reasons, fluctuates from time to time. The trip will be even more exciting if you take a kayak with you. On the rocks around the lake, you can easily see mountain goats take care. Their dexterity while climbing sheer stones is merely amazing. Yet, mountain rams, argali, are nowhere around, as they prefer smooth alpine plateau called the Sirt. The Tengri State Nature Park is yet another extremely popular tourist destination. To get to the park, you need to travel from Karakol in the opposite direction. This specially protected area was established in 2016 in between the Terskei Alatau and Kokshaal Tau mountain ranges, close to the famous Tengri Peak. The park's main task is preserving its snow leopard population. Occupying the top of the food pyramid, the ibis manifests an indicator of the well-being of all mountain ecosystems. If leopards are doing well, then everything is fine with their main prey, mountain goats. In turn, this indicates that plant communities are in order as well. This is surely an oversimplified interpretation of environmental linkages. In fact, wildlife has thousands of components that are in a dynamic equilibrium with each other, and tracing these synergies is not so easy. At present, about 300 snow leopards live in Kyrgyzstan. Their diet includes not only goited gazelles, but likewise the argali, marmots, small rodents, and even birds. The Himalayan snowcock is a very cautious bird with excellent vision. It can see a human from the distance of half a kilometer and instantly fly away. These willing to visit the nature park have to get a special permit in advance and pay the environmental fee. The Zhety-Oguz Gorge and the resort of the same name are located 28 kilometers westwards of the town of Karakol. In Kyrgyz, Zhety-Oguz means 7 oxen. As the legend has it, when the time has come for one Bai to split his inheritance, his cattle among his sons, he had just lost 7 calves. After some time, those calves were found, already grown and having turned into mighty bulls. So the rich man's sons got into a dispute about who was supposed to take those oxen. It could grow into a bloody feud. Seeing the situation, a wise sorcerer turned the bulls into these rocks to eliminate the dispute reason. The protected natural area begins higher up along the gorge, and you can go there only on foot. The walk is very scenic. Why not taking a break in this beautiful gorge? There is a balneological resort here, multiple yurts and guest houses. A night in the guest house can cost as cheap as 200 soms. It's also possible to rent a super comfortable room for 3,000 soms. Mirim, how long have you been engaged in tourism business? About 10 years. What about before? Almost nobody did it, but the demand has been on the rise recently. From which countries do guests usually come? From all over the world. We will not stay in Zhety-Oguz for long, as we still want to visit at least 4 more equally interesting locations. The first of them is the famous waterfall 90 kilometers from Karakol above the village of Barskaun. Driving on the road along the Barskaun River towards the Kumto gold mine, in about 20 kilometers you will see such a sign. They say there's trout here. In Kyrgyz, Shaar means waterfall. It means we have arrived. You will also immediately see the monument to Gagarin. They say Gagarin recovered here after his spaceflight. To see the waterfall up close, you will have to walk to it. Vertically, you will gain 500 meters, but the trail is easy. Barskaun is one of the highest waterfalls in Kyrgyzstan. If my memory serves me right, it is the second after the Shaar Falls in Naryn region. By beauty, I would give it the first place. It consists of 2 parts. The left-hand side is called the Girl's Tears, and the right hand is called the Manas's Bowl. Manas is a legendary hero, the progenitor of all the Kyrgyz. There are quite a lot of yurts at the foot of the waterfall where you can spend the night and get some great food. It's pretty cool near the falls in the evening. Our choices are the following: renting a room in the camp for 6,000 soms or an entire yurt for 2,000 soms. If you are not into walking, it's possible to rent a horse for 2,000 soms and take a small horseback tour. We are continuing our journey along the southern coast of Lake Issyk-Kul. The resort town of Tengri is drowning in orchards. Although there are fewer resorts in the south compared to the north, their number here is growing every year. In between the villages, in cozy bays, there are still deserted beaches where you can stay in a tent. No need to pay for using public beaches near resort villages, although they are quite crowded. If you are up for enjoying all the advantages of corporate vacation, you should go for an elite boarding house. I think if we rented a yurt without electricity for 2,000 soms, Renting a room with Wi-Fi and a shower for the same amount isn't expensive. To get more educated, we decided to make a small trip to the recent past of the country that no longer exists. We are in the village of Kyrgyzstan. Lenin is still calling for the victory of communism in Kyrgyzstan. Once 10,000 people lived here. Branches of apricot trees simply break from ripe fruit. You just cannot resist. Are you from Kazakhstan? Should I say Rakhmat in Kyrgyz? You are definitely from Kazakhstan. Yes. Today, on a weekday, you can meet a lot of foreign tourists in Kyrgyzstan. The village's vicinities are very picturesque. This shows what wealth the bowels of Issyk-Kul area hide. These great outcrops are quartz sand. They make semiconductors from it, without which no cell phone will work. We are in the tourist area with the romantic name The Fairy Tale. In fact, these colorful hills resemble the landscapes from the movie What Dreams May Come. The fabulous motifs also keep some secrets. We drove 2 kilometers away from the village of Kyrgyzstan and came across the ruins of the Kyrgyzstan coal mine. It started operating in 1948. They mined lignite coal with uranium admixture here. Apparently, the uranium reserves were not significant, and after 17 years, the uranium production stopped. Instead, they established the Kyrgyzstan Experimental Electro-Technical Plant in the industrial zone. Most of the village residents worked at the plant, mined quartz and produced semiconductors. The enterprise was widely known, at least within the Soviet Union. In the 1990s, the plant ceased to exist, and now the former engineers and miners are mastering the new profession of tour operators. Some are doing pretty well. 5 kilometers off the highway, there is a gorgeous natural geological park. This is the famous Fairy Tale Canyon. Today, unfortunately, it is cloudy, so we will not be able to see it in all its splendor. The entry ticket costs 50 soms. You can wander for hours in this kaleidoscope-like maze. The kaolinite clay gives it its characteristic color. This mineral formed hundreds of millions of years ago at the bottom of the primary ocean and then, under the influence of chemical processes, acquired such an unusual color. To turn it into a real work of art, 3 brilliant sculptors, time, wind and water, have worked for millions of years, and we must admit it, they did a great job. It looks like we found the throne of an ancient shaman. Whoever sits on this throne will become strong, successful, rich, and will make a good career. Our expedition is coming to an end, and we saw only a small part of all the beauties and wonders of Issyk-Kul and Naryn regions of Kyrgyzstan. So, we will definitely come back here sometime.